So the 30 years later Greg Horn of today would say, make sure you get this passed, because I think the entire industry took a different turn with the passage of DSHEA than it would have otherwise done. In the alternate universe where it didn't pass, there'd be no claims on over RDA nutrients, there'd be no amino acids, there'd be no botanicals for sale as dietary supplements. The whole category wouldn't have evolved the way that it did. So I think I would tell the 30 years younger Greg Horn, make sure this gets passed, put resources against it, make the compromises where we have to. I wasn't in charge of the compromises, but we had to make some compromises in the course of creating that legislation. We wanted some things that we didn't get, but the important thing was to get it done. And so I would tell my younger self to make it make it a priority and make sure it really happens, because the alternative would have been dim for an industry that had a lot of potential back then, and has really grown into that potential to this day. Well, I think it was really the first time that the industry had to come up with a unified structure. So what we call the natural products industry is really a collection of companies that have different interests, and they're in different market segments and they compete with each other. So if you can imagine, it was a time when GNC, as the big bad corporate entity, actually served to help organize a letter writing campaign that was the largest letter writing campaign since the Vietnam War to Congress around an issue that the health food stores, who viewed us as their hated competition, actually got on board with and participated in, and generated a lot of the 2.5 million letters that were created. So it was a moment where, given the existential threat to the industry, that people got together, even if they were competitors, and came with a common point of view. So if you've come into the category in the last few years, you can take for granted that there's this framework that allows you to say things and doesn't allow you to say other things, and channel your creativity, channel your entrepreneurial energy, channel your marketing power, channel your business instincts into actually creating something that hopefully helps people's health. And you know the rules. That's much different than having the rules be unclear and not knowing what the playbook is. And it was very difficult to operate in the pre-DSHEA era because you just didn't know.